Hello beautifuls, my name is Quavia and I'm the creator of JuJu Thyme. Today I am participating in the 12 days of Yule challenge that was created by Ivy the occultist. And today is December 22nd, and on this day you are sharing your altar or decorations. And for me, I suppose it's a little bit of both. Because the altar that I want to speak on the most is the altar right here. For those of you that are subscribed to my channel, you definitely may recognize this table as a place where I will sometimes do my readings, where you will see me working on whatever herbal blend that I'm working on, and things of the such. This for me, this is my, I would say, my working altar. And there's just a few, I suppose, decorations and items that you see here that I want to talk about. But before I do, I want to give a special mention to my other altars that I have. So first and foremost, of course, my ancestor altar. So I am a Hoodoo practitioner, specifically in the Conjure realm. And with a Hoodoo altar, it definitely varies depending on the practitioner, of course. For me, my ancestor altar, okay, so first off, I view altars as a living space, right? It's a living space that is like this one, it's for me, and it's a space that may not be for me. So my ancestor altar is a space that is not for me. So for my ancestors, particularly my elevated ancestors or my ancestors that are seeking elevation within wherever they are in their journey, wherever they are in the dimensions, the worlds, whatever. It's basically a space to provide them with whatever they need for their journey, to provide them, to bring them closer into my life, to just give them their own space of remembrance. Even though they, of course, are in my blood, in my spirits, of course, but it's a space that's just for them. So for me, my ancestor altar consists of a white cloth. It consists of the 4 elements. My particular Hoodoo is very much nature-based, and it is very much energetic, conjure-based. But yeah, so it always, yeah, so it has a white cloth and the 4 elements there. Some other special items that I feel is important for my ancestor altar, I should say, is I would say I always provide some kind of some alcohol, usually gin, and then a little ashtray for those ancestors that you know, tobacco, cigars, cigarettes is what they would love. So I do provide that. It's very interesting. So I don't smoke cigarettes, but sometimes I'll just be minding my business, going about my day, and I'll just have this hankering for a cigarette. And I've never tried one in my whole life, so I don't even know what that even feels like. But I'm like, okay, I think someone wants to smoke, or or that, when you burn a cigarette, that tobacco, that whatever, that's, they just want that, I suppose. And so I'm like, all right, no problem. And so I do, will always give that. Sometimes I do keep flowers. I feel like that's really important. I would also say an aspect that is important is the food. Food that they like, food that I'm eating, particularly if I cook the food. I do, I have for me, I have a particular day that I sit with them and we eat together. And for me, those days are Thursdays because I was born on a Thursday. So I don't know, I find Thursdays to be very special because I was born on a Thursday, a Jupiter's baby. So for me, it kind of just makes sense, to work with my ancestors on the day that I was born, every single week. Now, another thing, the very last thing that I think I would like to mention is that, as I said, my ancestor space is for them, right? It's not about me. But I think one of the items there that sort of took me back was, I will grab it really quickly, it was the Bible and this rosary that I found in an antique shop, which is a very interesting story. So I'll get to that. But I want to talk about it because, as I said, the ancestor space, at least mine, it's not for me. And with my hoodoo, I don't use the Bible. There are a few practitioners of hoodoo that they do use the Bible because of the synchronism that happened and the power that enabled them to use the Bible in that kind of way. And so any which way, I remember having dreams about Bibles or like feeling the need to read the Bible. And it wasn't, so because I am a channeler, I knew it wasn't me. I knew it wasn't me who was needing to read the Bible or wanting it. And I remember fighting it so hard. I fought it because I was like, why do you need this? I came to the realization that it wasn't about me. It was about either one, what gave my ancestors comfort, what gave them hope, and also for my ancestors that did practice hoodoo and they did use the Bible. So once again, it wasn't about me. And when I came to that realization, it kind of made sense that despite my own personal feelings that I may or may not have about it, it was a modality that got me here, that made sure that they survived so that way I can be here, doing what I do for you all, which is wild. So yeah, so I ended up buckling and understanding that for some of my ancestors, not all, not all at all, this was definitely needed. The interesting story about the rosary, so I love an antique store. When I get into some of the items here, you'll definitely notice it. But I knew that I needed a rosary, right? But for the life of me, I went to the Catholic shop and I was looking at some of the rosaries, but nothing felt right. Like I was channeling, I said, which one do you guys want? Just pick one, doesn't matter. It was like, nope. And I kept seeing an image of a long wooden rosary. And I was like, well, yeah, that would be beautiful. I mean, aesthetically, it's kind of my vibe, even though it's not about me. A couple days later, I decided to do a little antique shopping because I just love going to antique stores. The energy in an antique store. Ugh. I don't know, maybe it's the chaos of it. I just love it. Because I find it very chaotic. But I kind of like walking through it. I like walking through that chaos. Anyway, I went to an antique shop that I really like. And right near like where they would put some of the jewelry was just this single long wooden rosary. And it was like, oh, it looked exactly what I had imagined it to look. And everything in me, when I tell you everything in me was like, yes, yes, grab it. And it was like, okay, got it. Yep, no problem. And so, yeah, it's just once, you know, I saw it. I actually saw it. And then to have it in front of me and exactly, I mean, the way that I had, you know, I was given it, it was just wild. So anyway, I just wanted to, you know, say that for, I don't know, anyone else that, you know, they're needing to like put things on altars, especially for their ancestors that they themselves would never even touch. And it's like, I feel you. I completely feel you, and I was there. And so, yeah, I get it. For my altar, for my spirits, I would say that the main thing on there that is really important is my black mirror that I created. I find that having a black mirror is a great way that I channel and communicate with my spirits that are with me. And it's well, honestly, it's a good way for communication in, you know, just in general. I mean, if you think about it, we have black mirrors all around us, right? We have our phones, that's a black mirror, our computers, our cameras. I mean, it's all black mirrors, and it's all a way for us to communicate in general. And so that is a mirror that I use for communication, and the stories with that is wild. I actually had an experience with my black mirror where I was meditating and speaking, channeling to my spirits. And usually when I use my black mirror, I always have like a candle, usually like a little tea light candle or just any candle really, and then the mirror, you know, and I remember looking into that mirror as I was meditating. My face changed. You know, it wasn't scary or anything like that, but that is basically what happened. And it was a very beautiful experience, and I got a lot of downloads. I was automatic writing, you know, just so I can stay in that space of the meditation. And there was just really, it was really, really beautiful. So yes, a black mirror is something that I find very useful for me on my altar for my spirits. So yeah, I want to talk about this altar. This is mine, my working altar, the altar that you see in my videos. So I have a few items that I just want to speak on, and some of the decorations that you see that it's not just aesthetic, you know, it means something to me. So yeah. Okay, so I suppose first what I would like to talk about is my dried flowers all around me. One thing you can best believe is that if I'm given a bouquet of flowers, I'm going to dry them out so they can be my friend forever. But for me, as my working altar, this for me is the in-between. It's where things are created. It's where things are communicated. So for me, yeah, this space is the in-between. And so, and it's a representation of me, because I feel like I am constantly just in between, somewhere, someplace, either in my mind, constantly having to, you know, make sure I stay present, because feel like sometimes I'm going off in different places and stuff like this. And so I wanted my working altar, my working space to be kind of represented by that. So my dried leaves, the dried flowers, I mean, other than of course you don't really see how massive this baby is. You don't know how massive it is, but it is growing like crazy. Other than this bad boy, everything else is pretty much in this in-between space with me, you know? And I don't know, I I feel very much at home in this kind of space. And whereas some people would look at my flowers and think that they are dead, I don't see them as dead. I see them as occupying this in-between space. And when I'm sitting here working and meditating, they feel very much alive to me. And also I think it's beautiful. I mean, it's just me though. Some other things that are usually always on my altar or around me is my decks, my coins, I would say, that I find very important. I love having a little pot. I don't know, this vessel. Once again, I think a vessel is also a very good representation of like an in-between space, you know, a thing that is sometimes covered, and I don't know, I just love it. And I do use it for, workings, burning things, and you know, I can burn it safely in it and whatnot. I always keep fire near me. Usually I have water near me as well, and always some kind of dried incense. This is one that I've created with an intention that I would burn, depending on the different intention of whatever the herbs are, whether it's for communication or protection or, you know, things of such. So I told you I love antiquing, right? So this little box that I think you see it in every single video where I would be here. And these are my skeleton keys. I love me some keys. And living in Europe, it's just, you can just find them. You can just find them, and I love them so much. So once again, I feel like keys are, for me, keys are in the in-between as well, you know, unlocking or locking things. So I love working with them, and I feel like if this is my working space, this is the altar where I create, where I tap in, that keys do come in handy. It's just quite beautiful that they are skeleton keys, but I think any key is also quite nice. Of course, I have my herbs that are always near me, around me. I mean, just always near me and around me, including like the book that I use to put my prayers and spell work and things like that in. This bad boy is always near me as well, especially when, because since I'm working here, it's nice to keep it nearby, so that way I can just grab it and jot down, write, you know, anything that I need to quickly write down in it. I think there's two more things I want to talk about. Oh, this space there's just so much, and I don't want this video to be too long, but with this, I want to talk about this bad boy, because I also found this in an antique shop. Right now it has dried mint and dried basil from my herbal garden, my indoor herbal garden. But I found this collection plate in an antique shop, and it was so surprising because, I mean, it's a collection plate from a Catholic church and whatnot. So once again, something that I just had to have, and when it comes to my practice, it's been very, very useful. The last thing I would say that I want to talk about is, you know, this. So for this is, once again, this is more for like my craft, but once again, it's a working space. This is where I can just grab things, and creativity is like all around me at all times, just in this in-between space with me. But I have shells and some crystals and things of the such. But what I really want to talk about, and I'm a little nervous about talking about what's in here, to be quite honest, but you know, I'm gonna be vulnerable and whatnot. So anyway, in here, so I guess I should mention that in my flats, I don't kill spiders. I won't kill spiders. I don't, I try my best that if I do find some insect to guide it back outside. So that way, you know, it can be free and stuff like this. But I've had some very interesting things happen with some bugs that will find their way here. My ancestor altar is with me nearby, okay? It's nowhere near a window or anything of the such, but sometimes I find that some bugs will fly in my flat and then they will go to my ancestor altar and they will just die. They will I will go to my altar and then I'll just see them just there, you know, as though like they made it their home, you know? And I remember feeling really bad and I was like, why is that happening? Like, I don't understand. And so I realized that, well, one, I feel honored that they would find a home with my ancestors in my ancestor altar space. So I feel very honored about that. And in terms of like, it's almost like a little offering back to me that I can use in my practice if needed, you know? So there's just, I couldn't even tell you what some of them even are. Unfortunately, one of them is a bee, and I was very, very upset about that when I woke up, because you know, I had my windows open, it's summertime. Once again, I always try to guide them back, but I was sleeping, woke up, and it decided that its final resting place was going to be with my ancestors. So any which way. So other than like my wish bones, some bones that I have here, and some thorns and of the such, yeah, there are just a few dried bugs that I keep near me, and if necessary, use them in my practice. So anyway, that is basically, yeah, this is my working altar. This is, yeah, where, you know, as I said, you know, I will be, you know, this is my in-between space. And for those of you that are subscribed to my channel, you do recognize this table as, you know, or this space as a space that I would do my readings at and stuff. But I just never spoke about the things that are around me. But because of Ivy the occultist, and the challenge that she created, the space that she created, I thought, oh yeah, I suppose it would be nice to talk about some of the things that you constantly see. I just never really mention, you know? So along this challenge, on the few days, you know, on some of the days that I will be doing, you'll be seeing me just talk a lot more about some of the things that you constantly see, and you know, or my practice and stuff. So that's the beauty of this challenge. And so anyway, thank you so much for being here with me. I'm trying to think if I missed out on anything else that I wanted to mention or talk about. I mean, my herbs, oh goodness, there's just a lot. I mean, flat out like jars. I mean, this doesn't have much in it. This is my eucalyptus. Yeah, this is eucalyptus. This is pretty much empty, but there's flat out jars of just different herbs and stuff. So I suppose that will have to just be maybe another video, another day. If someone was just wondering what herbs I have or what herbs I like and stuff. But I hope I didn't want to make this video so long. But anyway, thank you so much for being here with me, beautifuls. It was nice just to talk and just have you get to know me just a little bit more. At this time, I woke up and I had 555 subscribers, and I was like 555, and I was really excited and really happy. And so I thought, oh wow, I didn't realize that happened. And so I was like, oh, it'll be nice along this challenge that you all can get to know me, and in the comments I can get to know you and the other people that are be joining this challenge. Oh my goodness, it'll be, it's gonna be really cool to see other people's altars and what altars that they're gonna share and the things that they have, the decorations they have, and I love that kind of stuff. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. I feel like I said that so many times, but yeah, thank you so much for being here, beautifuls, and until the next one, truth and love.